It's never been easier, like I said, and I stay away from all the GMO stuff.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with that because it's not.
Yeah.
Definitely, there's so much science to the glyphosate
Yeah.
and the Roundup ready corn, Roundup ready soy, all this shit that they got out there. Monsanto, and now they just sold to Bayer.
And their history, where they come from.
They're fucking terrible, man. And look who owns a lot of that stock. Fucking Bill Gates.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, that shit's so fucked up for you. They're putting epicite, which is a fucking genetic marker that destroys reproductive shit in men and women. It's a form of population control.
And the crazy thing is too, is like people, when you read the studies, it's like, oh, it only kills bacteria, but it's like that's what our immune system's made out of, our gut bacteria.
Yeah, the gut biome, but the glyphosate, if you just listen to Zach Bush, any of the lectures he's given on the Rich Roll podcast about why everybody's getting stomach problems, IBS, Crohn's, all this shit.
Even the gluten allergies.
Yeah, the gluten allergies, which I just finished. I'm just going through the edit now of this book. It's how to do the plant-based diet the right way. I can't say the name because motherfuckers will be like trademarking it, trying to sell it to me like they did with Meat is for Pussies. But so I addressed the 5 big diets that are out there. The fucking carnivore diet, this, that,
Keto,
the gluten-free, the keto. And what Zach Bush, who's a doctor, has been studying this for decades, said is people don't have a gluten allergy. They have a glyphosate allergy because there's very few people who have celiac disease and can't take gluten. What it is the farmers found out that if before they harvest their crops, they soak the crops in glyphosate, the plant thinks it's under attack and dying, so it releases all its seeds. So it creates less work for the farmers. But you're now
eating like a dead
this
plant.
is what they've been doing since the late 80s. They've been doing this practice. And now if you see, the more they've been doing this practice, you start getting the IBS, the Crohn's, all these different stomach issues, bowel cancers, and all this shit. So if you just remove, all of that shit from your diet, it's going to go away. People have inflammation in their gut. That's the problem, and that's coming from the glyphosate. Actually, I was riding like 2 weeks ago. I did this big training block, and I was riding out to swim, and I stopped in a deli in Broad Channel. This dude's like, saw me. I'm all in my bike shit. He's like, dude, you saved my life. I was like, well, actually, you saved your life. I just put the info out there. He's like, yo, I listened to you, and then you told everybody to check out Zach Bush. I had Crohn's, like, so fucking bad. I got off all that shit. I'm off the medication. They don't want you to know this stuff because
it's a business.
A patient cured is a customer lost. The pharmaceutical companies is big business.
They're in bed with the food industry, all that.
Yeah, you have to, pay attention to what's going on. It's not conspiracy theories. The only conspiracy is to make money. That's not a fucking conspiracy theory. That's a fact. Like, the ties of these food companies are tied to the goddamn pharmaceutical companies. So they get you sick, and then they swoop in and sell you the fucking pills.
Yeah, we were just talking about it.
To treat the shit that they caused in the first place. Yeah. And it's only treating the symptoms. It's not a cure. It's like fucking putting a Band-Aid on a shotgun wound, because those pills are going to lead to side effects that you're going to need more pills for, and more pills and more pills.
And then people say a vegan diet's expensive, but they're paying for the pills.
Yeah, you're paying for the fucking pills. And if you go on Forks Over Knives website, they tell you how to do, for $10 a day, eat a plant-based diet. People want to go pay $10 for a fucking Impossible Burger in the supermarket. Make your own motherfucking burgers. That's what I do in this book too. Is I show you how to do the shit on the cheap.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go buy all this expensive shit and coconut yogurt that costs $4, of course you can't eat on a plant-based diet on a fucking any kind of moderate budget. But if you do the shit the right way and make everything yourself, like I did this episode on the hard truth, and I made my own burgers, and I think it cost me $11 for the ingredients, and I had like fucking a dozen burgers, so it was less than $1 a burger.
You were
all organic.
You were talking about how you'd rather take the time and cook your food than like take the time later and stand online for pills.
Either way, you're gonna and not just pills, but sickness. The quality of your life decreases. The fucking procedures that you're constantly having to go to doctors to have done to you.
And for what?
And then the recovery from that. You're out of work. Look at it. See, people are, listen, and I said this in my new book that's coming out. There's the information super fucking highway. We didn't have that shit when I was doing this shit. We had word of mouth. We had to read books. We had to hear lectures. We had to want to know it. Now it's in your motherfucking face. And if you don't go down the rabbit hole and do some research, then it's on you. Because the information is there. The documentaries are there. We didn't have fucking Forks Over Knives and What the Health and the Game Changers.
Yeah.
Cowspiracy, which I just did a movie with Kip Anderson who did What the Health and Cowspiracy. But like we didn't have any of that shit. We used our body as a laboratory, and I was like, all right, I'm going to do all this crazy fucking exercise and workouts. And I was a bike messenger after the health food store shit when I left the temple and came back on the scene in like 84, beginning of 84, moved back into the squats, and we restarted up the Cro-Mags. And I was bike messaging because that was a job you didn't have to use your ID or your social security number, because that's how they catch you.
Yeah, you get paid cash, right?
Yeah, they give you a check cashing card. Yeah. So you could say I'm fucking John Bartholomew Smith on a check cashing card, take it to their bank, and their bank gives you the fucking money with the check and the check cashing card. So I was biking for fucking 6-7 hours a day, then going and doing martial arts or working out or playing ball in Tompkins Square Park for 2 hours and doing calisthenics and push-ups and everything on a plant-based motherfucking diet. Yeah. So
the proof is
there, man. There, these athletes now are doing amazing stuff, you know.
I heard a lot of runners are incorporating plant-based diets in the Ironmans now because they're realizing that they're getting better times.
Well, you know, and then it's less inflammation and like, listen, skinny does not mean healthy. Yeah. I just had a skinny Brazilian elite athlete die of a fucking heart attack on the swim in the last Ironman that I just did in Cozumel in November.
He was in the water?
He was in the motherfucking water and had a heart attack and died. Because it don't matter if you're skinny or fat. The fucking plaque is blocking your fucking your arteries and everything, and it's going to be a matter of time whether you're fucking an Ironman or a fucking couch potato that it's going to catch up with you, because animal plaque does not, you know, the only thing that causes that is animal protein, and the only thing that reverses heart disease completely 100% is a plant-based whole food diet.
Yep. And
sorry, COVID, but the number one killer in America still to this day is heart disease.
Number 2 is cancer, right?
Yep. Diabetes.
Number 3 is diabetes, all diet.
So like there you go. Boom, 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 boom. Diet. Diet and lifestyle too. Mm-hmm. You know, smoking, drinking, doing this, doing that, sitting on your ass.
It's like the food you're eating and also the mind food you're eating is just destroying your body and your mind.
Yeah, like I told people during this whole shit, you know, during this COVID shit, I was like, listen, man, if you don't get your shit done during this, you didn't have a lack of time. You had a lack of discipline.
Priorities.
And if you're sitting in there watching the motherfucking TV nonstop, every fucking thing is COVID.
Yeah.
It's stressing you out. It's
Fear
increasing
propaganda,
Hypnotism.
the fucking stress hormone cortisol is raging in your body.
Mm-hmm.
You're eating shitty food, so that's also causing cortisol, and you're not exercising. So that's a recipe for disaster.
You could tell somebody that keeps watching the news just by the words they say about all this shit going on right now.
It's fucking programming you, man. It's
100%.
programming you.
You gotta
It's
throw that shit out the
programming
window,
you.
man.
Fuck that shit. Never once did any of those motherfuckers come on there and talk about your immune system. It's like it doesn't exist. And then
Never.
if you say you're strengthen your immune system, like motherfuckers is like, oh, that's some conspiracy. It's that's a conspiracy theory. Oh, okay, you fucking Mama Luke. Sure, tell me about it. Go drink another fucking Pepsi and eat a Big Mac, motherfucker.
It all circles back to the business, man. The whole pharmaceutical.
It's money,
Because
man.
the media is doing a good job to brainwash people. That's their job, but they're doing it.
They're doing it. And if you fall for that shit, then it's on you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even pay attention to none of that shit. And as a matter of fact, my girl left right when the shit hit in March and went up to her mom's for like a month and a half, took the dog, didn't watch no news, came back. She just watched the news for the first time like maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, it's the same motherfucking story that they was telling months ago.
Yeah. You look at the numbers, that shit is all faulty anyway.
They're not. They just busted a lab in Florida that were fucking saying that it was 100% positive cases. It was only 10%. It's fucking money, man. They're getting money. The hospitals are getting money. They're telling you the hospitals are being overrun. That's all bullshit, dude. It's not.
Yeah, how many videos were out there where
I
people...
filmed this shit. I
emergency
filmed
rooms
it.
empty.
They
Like-
fucking took down. I got into them. Yo, I filmed all over the fucking city, dude. And I posted that shit, and they took every one of them fucking videos down that I
Really?
posted.
They have some shit now. They filter anything you post with COVID. They take it down because it's like false or some shit like that. Yeah.
I tried to just post that MSNBC thing that came out today on Bill Gates, that he was saying I had no relationship with fucking Jeffrey Epstein. Meanwhile, that motherfucker was going all over the place, giving donating money to a foundation and all kinds of fucking riding on his plane and doing all kinds of shit. And I tried to post that shit to Instagram. It wouldn't let me post. Yeah. It wouldn't let me repost the video.
That just came out recently. They started like filtering and
Zuckerberg and all of them, dude. They're all involved in brainwashing the fucking masses. 100%. And the real story is the pedophilia fucking rings that's going on.
Yo,
and
insane.
I mean, I got skin in the game, man. This woman I know's 2 daughters got groomed by that fucking chick. What's her name? Maxwell.
Really?
That's fucking locked up right now. And ended up on the island and disappeared for 6 fucking years. There's a picture of one of them.
Yo.
They brought her over to fucking England to hang out with Jeffrey Epstein and Prince Andrew. 16-year-old fucking girl. She was on the cover of the fucking the UK Sun or Mirror, whatever the fuck that paper was. So like, and these were kids I knew. I watched them grow up when we opened up the Hare Krishna temple. They were like, the mother was an old Hare Krishna lady who like, and that's what they did. They always went for broken families who were having financial difficulties, and she made jewelry and sold it on the street in Soho, her own jewelry, and she's putting her kids through ballet school. They were very talented, very beautiful girls, and they sent that Giselle, whatever the fuck, Maxwell in there, and some other women. They're like, we can give your kids free tuition. They're going to be on this private island university with the brightest minds in the world fighting global warming. Like, they knew to say every motherfucking thing to get this mother to believe them. And it was women chaperones and the whole fucking shit. There's no, all of this.
That's fucking horrible.
And then they went down there, and guess what? Them kids disappeared for 6 years, and I watched that mother have a nervous breakdown. My kids hate me. I don't know why they won't even talk to me now. I have no contact with them. So this is what the fuck was going on, and the real shit and the real story that nobody wants to talk about is these elite pedophile rings that exist and this child sex trafficking that's going on.
Dude, so many celebrities, so many people, like,
They're
kids
fucking
idolize.
down with it, man.
They're all down with it.
Rappers, TV,
Yo, everybody,
politicians, businessmen.
All these people with pretty faces.
Yo, this shit is crazy. When you start paying attention and watching the whole shit, then you see there's a whole secret language of this shit. All of this stuff, man.
Yo, there's some shit that,
and it's some sickness. And this shit's been going on for thousands of years.
Yeah.
What they do to children. And these motherfuckers is just continuing in these satanic rituals that they do and just all kinds of shit. And it's so bizarre that if you talk to people about it, what's the first thing they say? Oh, that's a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, everything in life ain't a goddamn conspiracy theory. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you something before you came on. I was thinking about this today. How do you think there's still hope for humanity? Do you ever think that the veil of illusion will ever be lifted?
Yeah,
or is it heading the other way?
Nah, man. It may take. It's always darkest before the dawn. Yeah. It may take. How old are you?
23, man.
23. So 20 years ago, when 9/11 happened, or whatever the fuck, how many years ago was that?
I don't know. It was,
2001, 19 years. You was 4 years old.
Yeah.
All right? I'll tell you, because I was in New York. I watched the whole shit happen. I lost friends in those buildings who were firemen and cops. And people got real motherfucking spiritual.
Really?
Right after that. People got real spiritual. The yoga places, the temples, the churches, the mosques, everything started.
Why do you think that is?
Because when a catastrophe happens, man,
unity.
people start looking spiritually, like, yo.
Yeah.
And that shit lasted for about 2 weeks, and then they were like, "Fuck you, get the fuck out of my way, you asshole, motherfucker." But I was there. I saw. So it may be some great catastrophe, but hopefully, at this point, with the control of information that's going on, and
I feel like
people just got their head up their ass, man. They got to wake the fuck up. And my teacher Prabhupada said, as long as people are in the bodily concept of life, and that's what people don't understand.